Yeah, that's the contract, Brent. Hi, gang. Hi, Mom. Uh,
I'm
you started
Wait,
it
what were you
all.
saying though? You were saying about Levittown, and you asked.
Levittown is a space. It's a space. We're talking about FOMO Lolo. This is incredibly
YOLO.
FOMO. What's FOMO? What's Slolo? I'll get it. FOMO YOLO. Fear of missing out. Guys seem to have that bug bigger, but we hear gender equality in that equally. YOLO is you only live once. Mom, I'm explaining this to you. I'm a space guy. I analyze space. We have the over objective of studying like the suburban model in Levittown. We're making an oratorio about this horrific, wonderful place, suburbia, where there's a lot of YOLO FOMO in these places. What always amazes me is this seems cliche, but it's not. That, and guys, would you weigh in that? A woman has a 10 times greater possibility of correcting FOMO if she just dolls up and goes to the right club. There you go. Guys, weigh in on that. Name again. Brian. You could be Brad Pitt or or Downey Jr. or whatever. But if the woman you've had that pink slip delivered, or you delivered to her, or you see her in the club and she's all dolled up, you know she's going to be free of FOMO soon, right? Right? No?
I don't think that's actually fulfilling, though. Like, you're going out for a cheap thrill, but like it doesn't actually do something for you.
Is the spatial temporal question here is, Dondre, will context solve it? A lot of this FOMO, I think, leads to a concept of loving beginnings, right? Yeah. But we all know we're going to see the ugliness where we're going to be coughing up our own blood in our hands when we're ready to die, right? It ain't going to be pretty. You know, I've had a brother 1 year younger than me, died of cancer, and he left 4 kids. It's death. I think part of this FOMO YOLO should involve old-fashioned, what I grew up on, existentialism, you know, the Kafka, Camus, Sartre, all of that groovy stuff. How many read that stuff? That's great, right, Jordan?
He actually has a quote about that. Like, if you're, it's something like, if your biggest problem is being alone, then the problem is with you. It was like, basically, if you can't handle being by yourself for a little while, then the problem is probably yourself. Like, you should be able to...
Definitely.
Well, those guys in the 50s, the French existentialists said, okay, put death over there in the vanishing perspective, and then everything rushes against it. So even if you have a bad relationship, who loves hurting people?
I do.
Oh, Steph. Which is the symptom of a lot of this stuff too, right, Stephanie?
No, I really don't like hurting people.
Okay. No one likes hurting people. Is it easy to avoid hurt? Brendan.
Are you talking about hurt physically or hurt emotionally?
Forget the physics. That's for Neanderthals. We're talking about emotional, because the kind of, and we'll be done here in a second. The payoff of intimacy is that it means something, right? If there wasn't a stake, then it wouldn't mean a lot, right? The stake is the one you love, right? And if you go through life with this FOMO attitude, even though it seems you have perfection, because let's agree, people are wonderful. A lot of ugliness about people, but in general, they're an incredible animal. You know, so your FOMO drive leads you to destroy the thing that you could love, right, Brendan?
Yes, exactly.
Which leads to despair on your part. And if you see her dolled up at a club or a bar you go to talking to the guy, what do you feel? What do you feel about that?
I would say, in a girl's case, it's just a lot easier.
Do you hate that easierness? Ease?
I don't hate it. I don't respect it.
Well, we've heard from Ashley that it was a little bit shallow, right?
Wait, what?
It's surface.
That a girl goes to the club after...
You have a big blow-up, a Mexican standoff. Your relationship talks is about FOMO. You said your boyfriend goes, fine, that let's just take a little break. Later that weekend, he sees you at a bar, all dolled up, and some guy is leaning into her trying to kiss her.
They're taking a break.
Wherein is this documentary film on alienation and intimacy on that? Dondre.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
You see it right there in front of your eyes. You've decided, you've acted on your FOMO. The spatial context is to walking into a bar or club. There she is, all dolled up, almost ready, smooching a guy. And you say, are you angry at her or are you angry at yourself? Brendan.
So,
You're angry. Guys, Jordan, are you angry at her or yourself?
I guess yourself. You can't really be angry at her. You're just taking a break. And she's doing what she has to do. She's getting approached. What are you gonna do? Run over? You look petty at that point. So
you're angry at yourself because you knew that there was something that you could have done to not let that happen. To make
And there were those experiments with those rhesus monkeys where they were given the same food and it was on TED, right? Did you see it? One gets a banana, another gets another fruit, and then suddenly the one, just because he sees the one having the banana, wants the bananas. So you want what you threw away or you want what you don't have. Freud had a specific title, he called it Fort Da. You ever hear this? You ever read about this? His young grandchild had a doll. He would hold it up to his mother, Freud's daughter, and you know this. He'd go like, Fort, which is German for it's right here, equating the mother with that. And he'd throw it away across the room, or he would hide it and say, Da, it's over there. And it's that pride of being able to throw away your mother. You did it with her, and now you do it with your intimate. Is this kind of a pliable sort of theory, Joanna?
I don't really understand, like what's with the doll that it's kind of an emotional connection that you have.
The doll is symbolic of the intimacy with the mother. The child is finally saying in individuation, Mother, I can get rid of you. You're bugging me. I can do, or I love you too much. I'm dependent upon you. I'm throwing you away. And so that was the Fort and Da. I swear to you, everyone works that out in their lives maybe about 100 times, 100 separate times. And let's talk about media. Do you think this is intrinsic in any of these things like Snapchat or Tinder? The Fort Da.
I don't think so. I mean, well, maybe in Tinder more than anything, because that's so based on superficiality and all that, quick, get in, get out kind of deal.
Right. But the Tinder to me seems like the essence of FOMO, right?
I mean, yeah.
Basically, who disagrees?
I would say probably Instagram more. Like Instagram.
But you just show your pretty meal, right, or a sunset.
Like people, sometimes they'll go out take a picture of all their friends. And if you're a friend who wasn't invited, that's like the essence.
Oh.
I could have been there. If they didn't
Maybe
invite me.
Tinder like third.
Yeah.
Snapchat is like the conceal.
Snapchat too, because then now you have like stories. People are like, oh, I went to this place. And you're like, oh,
Snapchat
that
is
person's
the
friend.
ultimate FOMO instigator.
Yeah.
Snapchat
It's
is.
live.
Yeah.
You know they're hanging out.
Yeah,
I'm
you
going to
know
cut it
that-
off right now.